Par le biais de son talent et de son engagement, Réal Bérard a diversifié les arts visuels au Manitoba. Créateur du personnage de Caillouche et caricaturiste au journal La Liberté depuis plus de 30 ans, il fait réfléchir ses contemporains sur des sujets variés. Artiste visuel prolifique et généreux, il touche à tous les médiums afin de livrer les secrets de sa culture et de ses traditions. Durant toute sa carrière, il a fait don de nombreuses œuvres à des collectes de fonds appuyant la communauté franco-manitobaine. Monsieur Bérard. Pierre Bourgie. Un passionné des arts visuels et de la musique, Pierre Bourgie est profondément engagé à dynamiser la vie culturelle de Montréal. Homme d'affaires et philanthrope accompli, il a créé la Fondation Arte Musica, laquelle a ajouté une dimension musicale au mandat du Musée des Beaux-Arts de Montréal, transformant notamment un lieu historique en salle de concert. Il agit à titre de mentor et encourage le mécénat auprès des jeunes et des entreprises. Plusieurs grandes sociétés québécoises et organisations vouées à la culture bénéficient de sa gouvernance. Monsieur Bourgie. Helen Burston. Helen Burston is a model of dedicated and thoughtful leadership of charitable and public institutions. Possessing a long record of civic engagement, she is recognized as a pillar of the Toronto community who has served on the boards of numerous nonprofit organizations in arts and culture, education, health, and the environment. She has chaired such notable institutions as the Ontario Trillium Foundation, Evergreen, and the Walrus, and has promoted the arts through her support for the Toronto International Film Festival, the Canadian Opera Company, and Luminato, among other notable endeavors. Ms. Bernstein. Barry Callahan. Barry Callahan is known for his wide range of literary works, including novels, short stories, essays, and poems. As founder of the journal Exile, a literary quarterly, and the Exile Editions Publishing House, he has promoted Canadian literature regardless of form, origin, or language. Throughout his career, he has sought to raise the profile of Canadian authors around the world through publications, conferences, and literary evenings. Mr. Callahan. Francis R. Cook. Francis Cook's contributions have broadened our knowledge of the Canadian ecosystem and its inhabitants, notably frogs. A renowned scientist, conservationist, and museum specialist, he has been actively involved in amphibian and reptile research, as well as in conservation efforts for over 5 decades. An active contributor to and longtime editor of the Canadian Field Naturalist, a national ecological journal, he has published extensively on Canada's amphibians and reptiles, sparking our interest in these fascinating creatures. Dr. Cook. W. Dale Dauphiny. Dale Dauphiny has had a lasting impact on medical education in our country. For nearly 50 years, he has worked tirelessly to create and improve standards for testing and evaluating physicians, both at home and abroad. With determined leadership and bold vision, he has created new alliances between provincial and national licensing bodies, introduced modern assessment concepts, and mentored younger generations of physicians. The legacy of his work will impact and benefit Canadians for years to come. Dr. Dauphiny. Gaston Derry. Gaston Derry a à cœur l'environnement et la mise en valeur de notre patrimoine naturel depuis plus de 40 ans. Comme ingénieur forestier, il a été à l'origine de la première politique de protection des espaces verts au Québec. Il s'est démarqué par sa contribution à la biodiversité de l'estuaire maritime du Saint-Laurent en participant à la revitalisation, à l'aménagement et à la reconnaissance comme réserve naturelle de l'île aux pommes, assurant ainsi sa protection à perpétuité. Son dévouement pour la sauvegarde de l'environnement et le développement durable constitue un legs inestimable. Monsieur Derry. We will now enjoy a musical interlude by a local barbershop quartet, Meta, who will perform a song titled Bye Bye Blues. Mesdames et messieurs, place à un entracte musical par le quatuor barbershop Meta, qui interprétera un numéro intitulé Bye Bye Blues.
I got quite a big surprise when I saw you smile. I never dreamed that it could be not for me, baby. No. But now I realize since I saw you smile, there's only happiness for me. Happy so-and-so, bar singing bye-bye blues. Bar singing bye-bye blues. I ain't got nothing to lose. Bells ring, birds sea. Because the sun is shining, no more pining, baby, just you and me, we two. Because we're smiling through. Don't sigh, and baby, don't cry. Bye, all of my blues, I paid my dues, so bye.
Don't ask me why. Bye-bye to those blues.
Bye, bye.
Give me a break. Bye-bye to those blues.
And I hear bells ring and make me stand right up and sing. The sun is shining, baby, no more pining for just you and me, we two. Because we're smiling through, yeah. Just don't sigh and don't cry. Bye-bye, 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 bye-bye to those blues. Bye-bye, bye-bye, bye-bye to those blues. Those blues, I'm saying goodbye to low-down balloons. I'm gonna tell them goodbye. Yes, I'll just tell them goodbye.
Thank you. Merci. We continue with the presentation of insignia of member. Richard Discerny. Richard Discerny has been at the vanguard of many public policies. A brilliant strategist, he served federal and provincial governments of all political stripes and was at the helm of both a Crown corporation and a media association. He played an integral role in the development of Canada's first national AIDS strategy, as well as policies in the burgeoning fields of telecommunications and science and technology. Testimony to his ethics and professionalism, he was recently called upon to lead Alberta's public service during a period of transition and modernization. Monsieur Discerny. Stephanie Dixon. Stephanie Dixon is a champion of inclusive sport. At home in the water since the age of 2, she is a highly decorated Paralympic swimmer who has won a total of 19 medals. Out of the pool, she is a broadcaster, keynote speaker, and mentor who shares her conviction in the power of sport to elevate and empower all Canadians. Noted for her positivity and candor about her own struggles, she continues to show us what it means to be truly whole in body and mind. Miss Dixon. James Ituluk. James Ituluk has been a tireless advocate for Inuit rights, culture, and heritage for 45 years. As president of the Kitikmeot Inuit Association, he was involved in the Nunavut Land Claims Agreement negotiations, a landmark achievement on the path to self-governance. He has also served on multiple boards, notably as chair of the Inuit Wildlife and Environment Council, and has taken part in many initiatives related to environmental and wildlife protection. Mr. Tuluk. Nahum Galber. Nahum Galber is a distinguished philanthropist who is committed to promoting the visual arts to a broader audience. An avid arts patron, he has served on the acquisition committees of the National Gallery of Canada and the Montreal Museum of Fine Arts, and has been dedicated to building an illustrious national collection. Devoted to his community, he has made transformative gifts to Canadian education, notably to the Law Faculty Library at McGill University, and has also contributed to numerous not-for-profit organizations. Mr. Galber. Stéphane Grenier. Following his own struggles with PTSD and anxiety, Stéphane Grenier has become a champion for mental health. While still serving in the military, he spearheaded pioneering programs to support service members, veterans, and families in crisis. Expanding his work to a larger audience, he was instrumental in bringing mental health injuries to the attention of government leaders, notably through his involvement in the Mental Health Commission of Canada. As founder of Mental Health Innovations, he continues to implement peer support programs in workplaces and public health systems. Monsieur Grenier. Normand E. Hébert. Normand Hébert est un chef de file exceptionnel du milieu des affaires et de la philanthropie à Montréal. Président et chef de la direction du groupe Park Avenue, il a fait de l'entreprise l'un des plus grands concessionnaires d'automobiles indépendants du Québec. Activement voué à l'amélioration des communications et de la médiation dans l'industrie, il a renforcé les relations entre les concessionnaires et les constructeurs automobiles. Déterminé à édifier des collectivités dynamiques et bienveillantes, il dirige d'importantes campagnes de financement, notamment pour Centraide du Grand Montréal. Monsieur Hébert. Robert Stephen Hogg. Robert Hogg is improving outcomes for people living with HIV/AIDS. A professor at Simon Fraser University and a senior research scientist at the BC Centre for Excellence in HIV/AIDS, he has critically examined and illuminated the impact of socio-demographic factors on HIV prognosis. He has been a strong advocate for increased access to antiretroviral therapy, particularly among disenfranchised populations. He is also advancing best practices in HIV treatment as the principal investigator of the Canadian Observational Cohort, a national collaborative analysis on HIV treatment outcomes. Dr. Hogg. Dale Howard Lassman. Dale Lassman has shaped our country's legal sector and sports landscape with boundless enthusiasm. As chair of one of Canada's largest law firms, he's renowned for his many landmark achievements, including a historic deal between competitors BCE and Rogers Communications for co-ownership of Maple Leaf Sports and Entertainment. He has also been recognized for his philanthropy, notably in support of mental health initiatives, and for his advocacy on behalf of the LGBTQ+ community. Mr. Lassman. Joseph Lubovic. Joseph and Wolf Lubovic have been drivers of economic growth and community development in the Toronto area for over 60 years. Since surviving the Holocaust and arriving in Canada, these brothers have built homes together, gradually expanding their operations to include high-rises, condominiums, and commercial and industrial buildings. Known for their philanthropy, they have made monumental donations, notably to the Mount Sinai Hospital and to the establishment of a thriving Jewish community center in Toronto's York region. The insignia awarded to Mr. Wolf Lubovic will be presented to him at a future ceremony. Mr. Lubovic. Marie McAndrew. Marie McAndrew est reconnue pour son expertise de la sociologie des relations ethniques au Canada. Professeure émérite à l'Université de Montréal, elle concentre ses recherches sur le rôle important de l'éducation dans la création d'une société canadienne plus inclusive. Elle a joué un rôle déterminant dans la promotion de stratégies éducatives et de programmes d'études culturellement adaptés pour les étudiants immigrants du Québec. Elle a participé activement à des groupes de recherche universitaires et gouvernementaux qui ont influé sur les perceptions des décideurs relativement aux politiques sur l'immigration. Madame McAndrew. Raymond Michael Murphy. Raymond Murphy is a pillar of the community in Prince Edward Island. With the purchase of a single pharmacy in 1981, he launched Murphy's Pharmacies, which has evolved into a province-wide healthcare resource with a mission to support healthier communities. His dedication to the advancement and well-being of his fellow islanders is evident in his mentorship of young entrepreneurs and in his support for a broad range of community initiatives. Notably, he transformed the former Basilica Recreation Center in Charlottetown into a popular community gathering point. Mr. Murphy. Francis Olson. For decades, Fran Olson has worked to improve the quality of life for her fellow citizens. A trailblazer and devoted community volunteer, she founded Edmonton's Festival of Trees and was the first woman to chair the University Hospital Foundation. She is known for her keen ability to raise funds for and connect individuals to various charitable causes. Her long-standing service has helped raise awareness and funds for major healthcare efforts and support for initiatives in the arts, education, and entrepreneurship. Ms. Olson. Harold Walter Orr. Harold Orr's efforts have been integral to improving energy efficiency and conservation in Canadian homes. As a housing engineer with the National Research Council, he was a key driver of the Saskatchewan Conservation House Project, which led to the establishment of new national energy conservation protocols for Canadian buildings. His innovations, which include new insulation techniques and materials, air sealing and efficient ventilation, blower door testing, and heat recycling, serve as a worldwide models for energy-efficient housing. Mr. Orr. Kathleen Isabel Pritchard. Kathleen Pritchard is an internationally renowned oncologist whose work has been at the forefront of treatments for women with early-stage breast cancer. Professor Emerita at the University of Toronto and a senior scientist at the Sunnybrook Research Institute, she is a prominent leader in clinical trials of adjuvant and hormonal therapy. Her studies have helped predict cancer recurrence and reduce breast cancer mortality rates. A well-known member on